We are back in the building. It's Angelic Marnier. Don't forget, we got a challenge coming up May 16th through the 20th. And it's a 5-day course creation challenge. And I'll be showing you how in just 5 days, how you can easily create an online course and make money from it. I'll be showing you how to market it, how to get your audience, how to come up with a topic if you don't know what your topic could be. So go ahead and click that link in my bio. If you're here live, let me know if you're here live. Let me know who's in the building, where you're from. And then, hey, Shamaree, I'm going to bring Shamaree up. And she's actually a client of mine. We created a course together. Can't wait for you guys to hear all about the course she created and how you guys can become part of her community. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her on in. So there we go. Should be able to come on in, Shamaree. Come on in. When you're ready, come on in. But good to see you. Hey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am doing good. How's the day so far?
So far, so good.
All right. Good. You look good. Looking good.
Oh, thank you.
Love the braids. All right. So, again, Shamaree is a client of mine. We created a course together. She was actually in the challenge. Hey, Wellness.consults. Thanks for jumping on here with us. We got Shamaree here, and she's going to be chatting with us all about her course, about intimacy, relationships, all kind of stuff. So Shamaree, let them know who you are, what you do, what's your background, what's your qualifications, all that good stuff.
Yes, so I'm Shamaree, and I am a relationship and intimacy coach, and I specialize in empowering women to get the confidence and the pleasure that they deserve so that they no longer settle for lack of satisfaction, especially when it comes to relationships. And I started out, I'm a therapist, and I have been doing that for a long time. But yeah. With therapy, if you do not know, therapists can only see clients that are in the same state in which they hold their license. So that kind of limits who you can see and how many people can seek you out for services, essentially. Right. So part of me wanting to do the coaching was just so that I can reach more people. Like, I want to help, and I want people who feel drawn to me to be able to work with me. So that's kind of why I wanted to do the coaching. So that's a little bit newer, but yeah, I've been a therapist for years.
That's exciting, right? And that makes so much sense. Like, you're like, okay, how can I expand? How can I help more people? And this is how you're doing it. So that's really exciting. And then what even made you get into this realm? Like, there's plenty of areas you could specialize in. Like, what made you specialize in this area?
So I've always kind of had a curiosity when it comes to relationships, intimacy, sex. I've always been that way, I think. Okay. But then I also experienced sexual assault in my past. And so that kind of painted how I saw relationships, how I saw intimacy, how I saw sex. And I didn't know that. As I got older and like finally was able to admit, like, this happened to me, this was a very real thing in my life, this may be why I'm seeing some of these things in this way. And I was seeking out help. I've gone to counseling. I've hired coaches to help me with it. None of them looked like me. So that's another reason why I definitely wanted to do this, to help women that were like me. Like, I needed a me. So now I became that so that I can help other people.
I love it. Love it. So now you guys have her background, kind of know who she is, what she does. Thanks for jumping on. Is it Dr. Jack?
Dr. Jack.
Yeah, Dr. Jack. So thank you guys for joining us. Okay. So let me know, like, what led you to even want to create a course? So it's one thing to be a therapist, another thing to want to coach, but what made you think, like, hey, maybe I should package this up into a course? Like, what was the idea behind there?
Right. Initially, I don't think that I even knew that I wanted to
okay.
I think that, like, I was seeing all these challenges and I was just like, okay, let's just try it out, because I knew in my mind that I wanted to create a coaching program. And part of that, I'm going to have videos, I'm going to have lessons, I'm going to have activities for them to do. So, like, I knew that I needed to have that. I didn't think that necessarily was also a course, but I just knew that I needed these things. And then once I kind of started joining challenges, I kind of realized that that's a course.
Yes, yes, yes. And then what was it even like creating a course? Like, what was that process like? So she and I, just so you guys get the background, she and I worked on our course together. We went through my whole coaching program, and we actually, she had a lot of her stuff already, components already together. Hey, Queen Clue Boggle, I want to say. Thanks for joining us. We're talking to Shamaree. She's talking about relationships and intimacy and sex and not faking it and all this other good stuff. But she and I worked on her course together. So what was it like creating a course? Like, it's one thing to coach, it's one thing to be, like I said, to be a therapist. But what's it kind of, what's the nuances when you're creating a course? Or what was something that was a little bit of a stumbling block for you?
So I think that the approach is definitely a lot different, because obviously when you're coaching or doing therapy, like the person's there, so like they can respond if they don't understand something, like what are you talking about? And with a course, you kind of have to anticipate what those questions are going to be. So I used a lot of my therapy background, a lot of my personal story as well. Like I said, I've gone through this process myself. So I've used, like, all of the things that I put into the course are things that I've used with clients, things that I've used myself. So I know in theory that these things are helpful. They work. So that was helpful. But at the same time, it's like, you know, when you explain something, like I can talk to you and you can tell me if you understand, but that doesn't mean that Becky is going to understand if I say it the same way. And so I feel like for me, that was a little bit of a challenge for me. Just like, I feel like, oh my God, are people going to actually even know what I'm talking about? So that was a little bit of a challenge. But like you said, I kind of had idea in my mind of the things that I needed to say, the things that I needed to do. It's just that putting it all together in a way that's going to help at least most people. It's not going to help everybody. Everybody doesn't learn the same way, but at least capture most. Then you kind of helped me reel that in a little bit more.
Nice. And then you also have a community. Tell people about the community you have on Facebook. Like, how does that kind of mesh with the course or with your coaching or your therapy work? Like, how does that all come together?
So the group that I have on Facebook, it is a private community for women. The stuff that I say and teach is not specific to women, but that is my target. So the group is specifically for that. And the group, it just is basically a community where you are able to get advice and tips directly from me, because I'm in there. But then you also have other people who have either been on this journey themselves. They're looking for confidence. They're looking to improve their relationships. They're looking to improve their sex. So they're kind of in the same boat. The same things that you're looking for, the same things that you want. Most of us want that. Like, if we're being honest, most of us want that. So if you are that person, then you definitely want to join the group, because that's a way that you're going to get free, I guess, advice, or like, you know, like you get to talk to me. That's kind of one of the only ways that you'll be able to do that, and in a way that's like really gonna give you some depth. I give kind of general advice at Instagram lives, but if you go in there and you post like, this is my situation, this is what I'm dealing with right now, you'll get a little bit more specific information from me. So if you are looking for that, then definitely do that. Also, it's when you're doing the course, if you purchase the course, you can pop into the group, ask me any questions that you want anytime. So if it does go to that thing, like if you don't understand how I explained it in the course, which is fine. Everyone's not the same. So if you don't get it from what I said in the course, you can definitely pop over there and you'll get a response from me that way.
And what's the name of the group, just so people can pop in?
Yeah, definitely. It's called Confidence, Satisfaction, and Pleasure Beyond Limits. And it says for women after that.
Okay, so say it again, so just in case somebody missed it.
Confidence, satisfaction, and pleasure beyond limits for women.
Yay, you guys. Okay, so pop on in there. We should all be in there. I'm in there. There's some good, juicy advice in there. It's a community. Everybody's rallying behind each other, so it's not anything to be embarrassed about or anything like that. Everybody's in there trying to get the same information. And it's, like she said, it's to build your confidence and make you feel better. So great community that, you know, if that fits something that you're in, definitely join. I'm in there myself. And then can you kind of give people a gist, like what's the course about? Like, because there's plenty of courses about intimacy and couples and sex. So what makes yours different, and what is the premise of it? Like, what's it about? What's the course actually about?
Right. So, I mean, it's called Better Sex, Guide to Confidence, Satisfaction, and Orgasms Without Faking. So, all of those things. So, if you are
Yes.
struggling with confidence, so whether that's just like body confidence, I know a lot of us have gone through that. Also, just feeling sexy, being able to feel empowered in that and understand what that really means and what it means to you, what it looks like. Also, relationship satisfaction, because obviously that impacts whether or not you're enjoying the sex that you're
Yeah.
having. And then also, obviously, intimacy and sex and finding pleasure in what that actually is. So, not having to fake your confidence. I know they say fake it till you make it,
Make it.
which,
Yeah.
which is fine. But why are we doing that when we can create real confidence, real satisfaction, and real orgasms? We can have that. It's totally possible. So if you've ever faked any of those things, or
Right.
you want it to be better, because even if you're confident, you can always become more confident.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Even if you have good sex, you can always have better.
Ooh,
So
hey now.
you definitely want to get the course if you've ever thought like, man, I wish that I had more, or I wish that I could be confident enough. So,
Right.
mm-hmm.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Hey, pear shaped couple coaching like that, and then Dionys. Hi there, Coach Junior Wooden. Thank you guys for joining. We're talking to Shamaree, and she's talking all about confidence, intimacy, you know, if you're in a relationship. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Write it by Winifred, Savvy743. Thank you guys for joining us. Hey, 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 hey. If you guys have any questions for her, she's on here. So, you know, bring it, bring it, bring it. If you have questions about your relationships, confidence, you talk to us about this, because this came up and you touched on it about faking the orgasms and DJ Envy. Like, bring it, help us out, Shamari, because I think, I'm not going to say, but you know, we've all kind of been in this, maybe not everybody, but some of us have been in situations where maybe we had to do some faking. So, you know, help us out, Shamari. Like, help us. What was that whole topic about, and what did you get from it?
Yes. So when that news came out, I immediately made the course 50% off, because
Yes.
I cannot. And I completely understand, just from like the psychological point of view. Is like, you fake it because either you don't want to hurt that person's feelings, you don't want them to feel bad, like they're not doing a good job, or because you just want it to be over. Like, there's so many reasons why someone would do that. So like, I get it, but faking it does not help anyone. So it's not helping you, because obviously you're not getting what you need. And then it's also not even helping them. You think you're protecting their emotions, but now they're not meeting a need of yours, and there's no way that they're going to get better because they don't think they need to get better. So it's not it's really not helping anyone. But it is very common. It's like 59% of women have faked before. That
59%, you guys.
Yes.
All right, you guys better take her course. So 50, we need to reduce the numbers.
Yes.
Get those numbers down, 9%.
Right. And she was doing it for like over the course of years. It's like, some people, they do it, maybe they've only done it once because, like I said, maybe you just want it to be over and it's not ending, or you just don't feel comfortable anymore, I still don't advise it, but if it's a one-time thing, then okay, I kind of understand. But like, if you're thinking over the course of years, you're not giving yourself or themselves an opportunity to have what you actually want.
Yeah, 10 years, she said, right? If I went for 10 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So 10 years she went unsatisfied, and 10 years he thought he was doing a great job because she's faking. And I think a lot of people also kind of need a little bit more education around what orgasm is. That's definitely in the course, because we watch movies, and even if you if you watch porn, like, you see them screaming and yelling and throwing their heads back, but that's not necessarily what makes an orgasm. So a person can be doing that and they could not be having one.
Definitely agree. I had a misconception of what it all was when I was younger, because I had seen so many movies, and I was very, very underwhelmed. like
Right.
So I definitely agree. But the whole love scenes, everything's perfect in the movies. It's all and that's just not how it looks. So I was a little bit like, is this wrong? Is this, I have no skills? Like, it was a really interesting time. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, pampered customers. How are you? And then, is it Dio Gracious Stimulime? I'm sorry, I know I butchered that, but thank you guys for joining us. And then, Write It by Winifred said, do you have any tips to keep it fresh in a marriage?
So when it comes to keeping it fresh, typically when
Because
we're
you're
most,
married, right? You're
I
married.
am, yes.
So she knows what she's talking about, you guys. She knows what she's
Yes.
talking about.
Yes, I just posted about this in the group too. Part of it is definitely keeping things interesting. So when you first are most excited about a relationship is typically in the beginning because that's when you're learning the most about the person. You get excited. So we have to treat it as if it's still that time. So even though I've known my husband for like 11 years at this point, and so I know a lot about him, but I do not know everything. He lived 22 years of his life before he ever saw me. So there's no way that I can possibly know everything about him. It's no way. It's no way. There hasn't been enough time for me to know everything. And so
there it is.
Learning those things over time, asking questions, and things change too. So the way that I feel and see things today, if you would have asked me even just 5 years ago, completely different, a lot of them, completely. So making sure that we're continuing to get to know the person the same way, like when we're dating, like what questions do you ask people when you start dating them? Like, don't assume that you know their response. We do that all the time. Like, oh, he's just going to say this. He's just going to do this.
Yeah.
Give them a chance. You never know. And then also making sure that you're like actually taking those dates, changing the scenery, changing the location. So sometimes, especially when it comes to sex, a lot of times we do it in the same way all the time. We just fall into patterns. Like we do the same positions. We do it in the room or in wherever all the time. We do it the same thing. And so change it up. Even if you go to a different location, if you have more than one room in your house, go to a different room. Yep. Like
there's always the bathroom. There's a bathroom and a closet in almost every apartment. So even if you live single, there's a closet and a bathroom.
Yeah, and even if you have to go to the living room on the floor, like just changing up the scenery, and then also just kind of changing the touch. So if you're not comfortable with adding like a bunch of new things, so like some people, they're not into like things that are more extreme or kinky. So if you're not into that, that's fine. But sometimes just changing the temperature of the room, the temperature of your hands, the temperature of the things that you're doing, the amount of pressure that you're providing. So if you're pressing firmly or if you're just being gentle, all of those things are ways to change it up without feeling like you're outside of your comfort zone.
That was good. So hopefully Writing by Winifred that helped. For everybody who's just joining us, we got Shamaree. She's talking and she is a therapist and she is also a coach. She helps with intimacy and, not faking it and help you have confidence, especially for women. So we're just chit-chatting. She's giving some gems here. So hopefully you guys are taking all this free info. But she does have a course, okay? And everything is packaged in the course so that you don't have to fake it anymore, so you can gain your confidence. And like she said, we can always do better. Even if you are married or you've been married for years, you can have a better relationship. You can have better intimacy. So that's all packaged in our course. A shameless plug. She and I worked on the course together, and it was a great experience. It's great information. Uh-oh, feel like it's going slow. I'm not sure if my internet or what is going down. And then also, let's see. I see I Am Sarah Speaks. Hey, how are you? Thanks for joining us. I don't know if my connection is slow or what. I see the hearts coming in, so I'm not sure if I'm still going or not. But for some reason, it seems like Shamaree is not going. She probably got a call. Oh, okay. Good to know. Okay, so, but yeah, shameless plug. Bottom line, Shamaree and I, we worked on the course together. Hey, Sarah. And she was also part of my challenge. So if you guys are interested in creating a course sometime soon, We see you. Okay, good. Okay, so I'll just keep going. Hopefully Shamaree can patch back in. But I am doing another challenge. So click the link in my bio and you guys can jump into the challenge. It's May 16th through the 20th, showing you how to take what you already know and start monetizing it. Everybody on here, because I know Writing by Winifred, I know Sarah, you guys have so many skill sets, and you definitely, just like a lot of other people on here, definitely you should be packaging that into, hey, Dr. Canary, you should definitely be packaging that into an online course. And that's my specialty. So yeah, jump into the challenge, or at least check it out. We're doing a 5-day challenge. Let me see if I can, Shamaree left. Let me see if I can add her back in. Hopefully Shamaree will come back. But yes, you have so many. Yes, Sarah, you got a whole lot of skill sets. But yeah, definitely check the link in the bio. There's a challenge May 16th to the 20th. It'll be 30 minutes a day. And so many people that I've worked with have been able to get their courses up and running. Okay, I'll bring her back on here. They've been able to get their courses up and running. Patrice got 5 sales after the challenge. Angel got her first client. Dr. Faye finished her. So the challenge does work, and you can definitely make money with it. So let's see if I can bring Shamaree back on here. If not, let me see if I can find her. Invite. Let's see if this works. So yeah, jump into the challenge. We'd love to work with you guys. It'll be fun. It'll be interactive. And we'll have an amazing time. And Shamaree is coming back in. I believe I just saw her in here, so we can get back to all this intimacy and touch and all this other information, because I know Writing by Winifred, you had a question and I wanted to get to it. Let's see. All right, let's see if that works. Let's see. Accept. Oh, let's see. I can't seem to get her in here, but we will. We will get Shamaree in here one way or another. Accept. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why it's not coming back on. But I know Writing by Winifred, you had a question, so I definitely want to get that answer for you guys. And then if you guys also have any other questions for Shamaree while we have her here, Shamaree Lab is unable to join. Okay, well, hopefully she'll be able to jump back in. But if you guys have any other questions for Shamaree, start piling them in. If you have questions about, intimacy, about touch, about how to, spice it up in your relationships, how to gain confidence, feel free to put those in the chat. And let's see if we can get Shamaree now. Feel free to put those in the chat, any questions that you guys might have, because she's here, readily available to answer them. And here we are, right back. We got you.
What is going on?
Instagram, you know how these internet streets can get you sometimes.
We're back though.
Yeah, we're back. So I wanted to see, Writing by Winifred had a question for you. So let me go back to that. One sec. Okay. Tips to learn what you like without having a bunch of partners and masturbation. So definitely, I'm pretty sure other people might want to know that. And even if they don't say it, they want to know.
Yes. So a lot of it is exploration. So you could do this by yourself. You don't necessarily have to have anyone else do it, but touching yourself in everywhere, so it doesn't have to only be in the genital area, all over, different types of touch, like I said, different sensations, making sure that you're keeping it interesting even for yourself. So trying different things. And a lot of times, of course, we have typical hot spots or erogenous zones that we all know are pretty common. But if I love my elbows touched and I never touch them and no one else ever touches them, I'm not going to know that I love my elbows touched. Right. So make sure that when I say everywhere, let me try. You want to do everywhere, because you just never know. People are so different. Everyone's body is so different. So you want to make sure that you're touching everything, looking at yourself in the mirror, watching what your reaction is. So sometimes we don't even know that our reaction is changing. So watching what happens when you do it. If you're excited, if you're feeling like your heart rate is increasing, if your breathing changes, all of those are clues that something's happening, either really good or really bad. And that gives you information that you can share in the future, whether that's with someone else or just for you. I know that I love when I touch my knees. You are able to identify what those things are.
I think that's great. That was I think we can all run to the bank with that. So, because I think maybe as women, maybe we don't do that enough. So it definitely got me thinking okay, let me explore a little bit more. So I think that was great information. Let's see. Let us know, and I think you touched on this a little bit in the beginning, but who might be an ideal client for this course? Like, who might be somebody who could really gain from your course?
So if you have been struggling with body confidence, like feeling inadequate or insecure about your body or how it can perform, if it can perform, feeling like maybe your skills are not up to par, a lot of that is it has to do with your confidence. And so definitely if you are lacking confidence, even if you're super confident everywhere else, because that was me, like I know that I'm super smart. I know that I know what I'm doing when it comes to my job. I feel like I'm cute. So like I felt those things, like I knew that, but when it came to sex, like I was completely different, and that's normal and that's fine. So even if you feel confident elsewhere, that doesn't mean that you can't struggle in this arena when it comes to relationships or intimacy, actually feeling close to a person. So if you're not able to feel close, you're not having the types of relationships that you want, or maybe you're having sex, but you're not enjoying the type of sex that you're having, you're not really getting anything out of it. You might feel like you can't get anything out of it, or maybe there's just something wrong with you and this is just your reality. That's not true at all.
I think that's good for everybody to hear. Like, it's not true. Like, whatever whatever it is, that's good to hear. Like, that's encouraging. So, hey, if you want some encouragement in these areas, this would be a great course to have. And then she has the community as well. What was the name of the community again on Facebook for anybody who just came on?
Right. Confidence, satisfaction, and pleasure beyond limits for women.
For women. Good stuff. And then Shamaree, like, tell people like what's next for you and where they can find you, like your Instagram, or I don't know if you have Facebook, TikTok, where can they find you, and what's next? What's up next for you?
Yes. So I'm primarily on Instagram. So if you click the little arrow at the top there, the drop down, you can click follow me. So that you follow me, you can see everything that I post. Because a lot of the things that I said today are definitely going to be a part of content if it is not already on my page.
Right.
But the link in my bio is my easy tree. So that's going to have all of the links. So my course, I have opened up my calendar for May. So I am doing 60-minute clarity calls. So if you're not sure if you should get the course, or if you just have questions and you feel like you need a little bit more insight regarding your specific situation, then you want to book a clarity call with me. I have some freebies there. And then at the very bottom, there's all of my social media links. So I'm on Pinterest, I'm on TikTok, there's the Instagram there. But if you did what I said with the arrow, you should already be following me on Instagram. I have YouTube, and I'm going to be releasing a lot more content on YouTube, just because I try to keep it a little cleaner on Instagram, but YouTube, I can give you guys some more specific tips. So definitely you want to make sure that you're keeping up with all of that.
That's exciting. Okay, so you got a lot going on. You got YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, you got the Facebook community. Very exciting. And you guys heard that she has consultation calls. So you guys, for everybody who's been faking it, or and when we say fake it, like you said, faking confidence, maybe you're faking it with your partner or whatever it is, hey, get some help. You can get the course where you can do self-study. You can speak to her directly. Like, where else can you do that? Where you can actually get some coaching right there on the spot with a consultation call. I think that's excellent, you guys. These are some great resources. So exciting times, you guys. So tell them again, the Facebook group and your Instagram, the best place to just shout it out for them in case they didn't catch it yet.
Yes, so my Instagram, it's Shamaree, L.A.B. So if you click on this information, I should be right there. You can follow me right now. And then if you look at my Instagram bio and click on my easy tree, everything that I offer is there. And if I do start to offer new things, you'll find that there as well. If you go to the bottom to my social media links, that is where you'll find the Facebook group. You'll find the other links. The Facebook group is Confidence, Satisfaction, and Pleasure Beyond Limits for women. So you want to get in there. That's the other way you can get some free tips and advice. It's also just another resource. If you get the course and you are stuck on something, I can help you do that.
That's cool too. Okay, welcome, Sean or Shayna, and Landy Music. Thank you guys for jumping in. You know what? Hashtag replays. If you catch this replay, definitely follow Shamaree Lab right here on Instagram. Go get into her her land in her Facebook group. I don't see any other questions. If you jumped in late, we were talking about all about intimacy, relationships, you know, sex, everything that you guys needed to know. She created a course about. Shameless plug. She and I worked on the course together. Yes. And I actually do have a 5-day challenge coming up, and I believe, Shamaree, you were part of that. She got her course done, so it does work. Click the link in the bio. We'd love to show you guys how to create a course in about 5 days. And it's free, so it doesn't cost you anything just to get the information and be able to run with it and really start making some money from it, but also making an impact like Shamaree is. She's helping so many couples, women, men, millennials, like really, you know, level up and not have to deal with this stuff for the rest of their lives, right? Hey, do the road trip. How are you? So yeah, Shamaree. So thank you so much for being such a great person to work with. You were excellent to work with. You got an excellent course. You got an excellent Facebook group. She knows her stuff. She's a therapist, but she's doing the coaching now, so we all can, you know, benefit from her. She's in a certain state. We're not in her state, but we still, you know, can benefit from what she knows as a coach. She does consultation calls. There's no reason why we should be, you know, suffering and not getting the best out of these type of relationships. So, Shamaree, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, thank you for having me. I appreciate all the help. It's been great.
Yes. I will see you guys soon. If you have any questions, go hit up Shamaree, because I have lack of information in this area. Okay, can't help you in any of these areas.
I got you. Everyone, right? Come. I'm very nice.
She is very nice. Like, she is very, like, maybe too nice. Very, very nice. Very, very knowledgeable. Great at consoling, coaching, and she'll take good care of you. I wouldn't put my stamp on it unless I knew for sure, but I saw the course and I saw how much love she put into it, how much time she put into it, and just how she really was intentional on making sure that she really gets you to the transformation so you're living a happier life in whatever area it is. Right. So you guys go check her out. We'll have to do this again, Shamaree. We got to do it again. I feel like people enjoyed it. We had questions, good engagement. So we'll do it again and help the people out again sometime soon. So you guys have a great rest of the week. Check out Shamaree. Check out me. And we'll be back at you guys soon. All right.
Thank you.
Bye, Shamaree.